Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Abundant Wednesdays. I'm Shelley Hagen. I'm here with my business partner, Nina McNamara. And Nina and I have invited Simon with us today, one of our good friends who is a real estate investor from Vancouver. Simon and his sister, Christina, work together as investors. And we met back in 2019 through some training that Nina was giving, and then myself. And Simon and Christina were mentor students of mine back in 2019 as well. So we've known each other a few years, and Simon and Christina have been doing a lot with their investing career. So we thought we'd invite them over to talk to everybody and just give an idea of kind of what they've done as new investors and where they're at and what they're looking at. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nina.
Thanks, Shelley, and thanks so much for being here, Simon. It has been a while. We've chatted on Facebook back and forth a bit, but this is our first face-to-face kind of for a little while, so it's so great to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We have some funny memories. I was talking real estate, and Simon taught me how to cook rice, because believe it or not, I could not cook rice until I met Simon, so that was just a few years ago. So.
Hey, believe it or not, I didn't know how to invest in real estate until I met you.
There we
go.
There
you go. It's mutual. So. You guys are in Vancouver, which is an insane market, right? So probably very intimidating when you first started investing in real estate. So what steps did you take to start real estate investing? Because obviously, did you start in your own backyard, or did you invest outside?
Well, I think we initially did look in our own backyard, and this was actually pre-COVID. So, I mean, I really miss those prices.
Yes.
Yeah, I find that, especially when you're getting into real estate, one of the biggest challenges is really just to find out what market, Canada, despite being a large country, it's kind of small at the same time. So that was always a challenge we've looked at. We've actually looked at, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Ontario, obviously, and even the Maritimes, before we kind of found where we wanted to invest. And where we invest isn't necessarily going to be the best thing for everyone else. Because, I mean, if I lived in Alberta, I'd probably be investing in Alberta. But,
exactly. Yeah. It's cool because I like the fact that, new investors sometimes are like, I have to invest here. I have to invest where I am. But you're a perfect example that you can invest other places. You don't have to invest where you drive past it. You can invest across the whole country.
Yeah. It's funny. I've never actually seen a property before buying it.
Excellent. As long as the numbers make sense, it doesn't matter.
When we did the mentorship, we actually did the mentorship in Ontario because at the time, Simon and Christina were looking at some markets up there. So we went and visited some of those cities when we actually did the physical mentorship face-to-face together, which was a good experience to go through that market.
Especially that Friday, that last day.
We had a lot of fun. We actually had a couple of days off between while we were doing the mentorship and a wedding. So we ended up doing a little bit of touring around the area too and spend some time together. It was a lot of fun. Got to know Simon and Christina really well.
I mean, I think it was really just great market research, if anything.
Well, exactly, especially for you, who's in the food industry.
Totally.
Yes.
So what does yours and Christina's portfolio look like now? Geez, I can't talk on this Wednesday.
Let's see. We have, one, two, three. I'd say we have about 14 units right now.
Nice.
Spread over 2 cities. Surprisingly, a few of them are kind of walking distance to each other. It wasn't intentional, but that's just how it ended up being. And they're all in just one province. We actually invest in New Brunswick, and we managed to get in before, well, we got in the first one we got in right before COVID, and then the rest we got in during COVID, but we still managed to get properties that made sense for our numbers, and it's been interesting.
Excellent. So
Which cities
what
are
is,
you out there?
St. John and Fredericton.
Okay.
and are those your buy, rent, hold strategy, or do you have anything else you're thinking about doing with those properties?
Yeah, we typically we think long term, so we are doing buy and hold strategies, and then of course we look for properties that we can add value to. That way we can get our money back into refinance, and then because of the current state of the market, we always kind of think about what's our other strategy if things hit the fan. Because if you look at interest rates, we refinanced some of our properties last year, and interest rates have gone up at least 2%. And that really eats up your cash flow. So, you know, we have one property that we're fixing up right now. And, you know, if we don't have a favorable interest rate for our mortgage, then, you know, what's our cash flow going to be like? Are we even going to have cash flow? And then at that point, like, how do you get out of it? Otherwise, you just have a money hole. And so, depending on how things look, we might even have to sell it, but we'll see. I think right now we can still, the numbers still work, so we can rent it out after. But yeah, one of those things I learned from you, Nina.
Conservative numbers, right? 007.
Yes.
You're doing your initial numbers
Yeah.
and be conservative. Yeah, exactly. So that's exciting. So 14 properties within, you know, walking distance of some of them. What has been your challenge? One of your greatest challenges investing outside your own province, and how did you overcome it?
Finding properties, I think, is the hardest thing right now, just because of how because it's a seller's market, pretty much all around the world, even still. And then even then, finding properties that make sense for numbers because of how much everything's inflated, because of the demand. A lot of properties now in St. John are selling, or sorry, are being listed at probably about 100,000 per unit or over, whereas 2 years ago it wasn't the case. And you know, I wish that was the only problem, but there's so many other challenges. But I think if there's gonna be the biggest challenge, that would be that one: finding properties and then getting it at a price that makes sense.
Excellent. That is the challenge, is because we want to make sure the numbers work first, right? If the numbers work, then you can proceed. What was your process in finding a property manager? What did you do to find the best property manager for you?
I went for referrals. For me,
Nice.
I find that in investing, a realtor is kind of key. They are your boots on the ground, essentially. And my realtor, love her bits and pieces. I learned to trust her. We kind of developed a relationship, but from her, I got my property manager, I got my lawyer, inspector, appraiser. I pretty much got everything.
And they're all based in New Brunswick?
Yes, all St.
Excellent.
John.
Nice, very nice, very nice. So that's really the key, is because you have, like you said, the boots on the ground. You have the experts in that area to help you. So you just come in and you purchase a property. That's quite amazing. I love it. I love the fact that you look beyond your own, because so many people say, I have to invest here, and then they block themselves off. But you guys have kept yourself open to going beyond. So that's amazing. And I heard that you're starting to dabble down in the US. That's exciting too. So you're getting to know a new market.
Yeah, it's funny because I find that plans generally don't work out how you want them to, but I had actually planned when I started getting into real estate. I was like, okay, 3 years from now, I'm going to get into the US. And here I am 3 years from now, getting my way into the US. Yeah, it's a whole new ball game, but at the same time, it's kind of the same ball game.
Again,
It's actually, I guess it's the
different.
same game, slightly different language.
There you go. I like that analogy for sure. Yeah. And again, you're going to set up your network. You're going to know do your due diligence, and then you're just going to explode over there and be successful. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it was the same thing there because I went there, met a realtor, learned to really got along with him. And I've got a property manager reference that, as well as a contractor reference. And I think I'm going to end up working with both of them when I end up getting a property.
Oh, good. And it was Cincinnati, right, that you went to, that you were looking at?
Yes.
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 So that's very good. I have, as most people know, I've invested in the U.S., since about 2003. I have not personally been in the Cincinnati market, but the same fundamentals are used in the United States and Canada when you're analyzing properties, etc. It's just the processes are a little different, with their closing processes and, just some different things that we can do down there that you can't do in Canada, or you do differently there than what you do in Canada. So good for you guys.
Thanks.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
great.
there are additional challenges, but, they can be overcome.
Right.
Especially if you end up marrying an American.
So, well, there we go. Simon is single. And so, and Simon invests, as we mentioned, with his sister, Christina. Christina was not able to join us today. Unfortunately, she is over in Korea with some personal and business activities that are happening over there. So she's been out of the country actually for a few months with work. And so we weren't able to, with the time zones, just weren't able to arrange that. But we'd love to have you guys back and at some point in time and see kind of where you're at in the future. And we do share this information with a few different groups around the country and in the US too, just so they can see if, Canadians investing in the US. And there are US investors, of course, that come up here too on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final thoughts for us, Simon?
Just that I'm really thankful I know you two. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And then next time you're in town, I've got some gin infusing with some grapes.
Okay. Well, I am looking forward to that. It's been too long. Last time we saw each other was in the end of 2019 before COVID. I haven't been out to Vancouver, but when I'm out there, definitely. I look forward to seeing both you and Christina. Hopefully she's back in the country and getting together and going out for dinner. Simon is a chef, and so he has all these great recommendations. So I'm looking forward to an opportunity to spend some time together again. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You can ask our friends at Edmonton about dinner and grape gin.
Okay. We'll definitely do that. All right. That sounds great.
Simon. It was amazing to see you.
Yes, that is the wonderful thing about what, the experience that Nina and I've had as trainers and coaches is that we get to meet great people like you and Christina, across the country. And it just is so rewarding to see how well you guys have done and just meet such good people. So thank you so much for joining us today, Simon. Really appreciate your time. And we look forward to having you guys back at some point in the future.
Looking forward to being back.
All right. Well, with
Thanks,
that, we're going to head her off. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Have an abundant week, and we will be back with more. So happy investing. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks again.